This is the correspondence from Stingray 3. Your Excellency,
Thank you, Ueno. Inform Swordfish 1 to stand by. I'll see to the wounded shortly.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Kokomi! How have you been?
Captain of Swordfish 2. Glad to have you back on Watatsumi Island. I would have liked to have given you a grand reception, but as you can see...
What's going on?
Not long ago, I hosted the Watatsumi Goryo Matsuri. It's the most important ceremony on Watatsumi Island. I'm guessing you'll have heard about it from Tsuyuko?
What? How did you know we were the ones helping out Tsuyuko this whole time?
Tsuyuko is one of the more conscientious shrine maidens of Sangonomiya. I knew that handing off the planning of the ceremony to her would play to her strengths. Based on her description of the person who took the commission, it was quite obviously you.
This is all starting to sound pretty suspicious.
Anyway, I'm sure Tsuyuko will have told you that the Watatsumi Goryo ceremony is a ceremony to reverse the holy soil phenomenon on Watatsumi. It's a bleaching process that slowly turns the earth to holy soil. Granted, crops aren't our staple food on Watatsumi Island, but I can't allow external forces to drastically alter the people's diet, and we certainly shouldn't be overly reliant on imports.
Hyman doesn't quite follow.
Imagine all you had to eat from now on was radishes. No more fish or meat. Clearer now?
That would be terrible!
The issue began with the Watatsumi Goryo Matsuri. I did not miss a single step during the ritual, and there's no question that the blood branch coral you retrieved was infused with the Omikami's power. But it didn't reverse the holy soil phenomenon as expected. Instead, it just... paused. This is ultimately a matter of Watatsumi Island's survival, so I sent as many people as I could spare to Enkanomiya to investigate the situation. The news from Stingray 3 was that all of Enkanomiya is engulfed in a darkness that cannot be dispelled. Additionally, there have also been reports of monsters.
Strange monsters? And an all-engulfing darkness?
That's all that Stingray 3 has reported. Their investigation otherwise has yielded no useful information. I have sent several rescue teams already, but so far, the situation does not look promising. It brings me no pleasure to have to ask, but on behalf of all of Watatsumi Island, I beseech you, please don't joke around. But thank you for once again agreeing to put your life on the line for the sake of our island. Now, please, come with me to meet Tsuyuko.
Your Excellency. Traveler. I did wonder. Hope you're both having a wonderful date so far.
Cut the comedy, Tsuyuko, or I may have to have you and Naki switch posts next year. In which case, you'd be in charge of Spectre Eco Management on Watatsumi Island.
No need, I'll stop. So, since the two of you are here together, I assume it's about Enkanomiya?
Kokomi filled us in on what's been going on.
Kokomi. Right. Well, as I'm sure Her Excellency has told you, an ominous darkness has completely engulfed Enkanomiya. At the same time, strange humanoid monsters have appeared when the place should be completely deserted.
Humanoid monsters?
Armor that can move on its own. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we're not talking about one spook soldier hallucinating in the darkness. All the wounded. On top of this, even ordinary enemies seem to grow much stronger in the darkness. There's one other thing that the returning soldiers have mentioned. They say a shrine maiden who calls herself Sumi has been...
Sumi? I don't recall there being any record of a shrine maiden by that name in Sangonomiya.
That's the thing. There isn't one. But she held something called a Sento ceremony, which managed to keep a small area in the very center of Enkanomiya brightly lit. Thanks to her, the wounded soldiers have a safe zone where they can recuperate.
Sental. I've seen this term in the Deep Sea Healing Arts Compendium. But it's a ceremony that only works in Enkanomiya. I'd love to meet this Tsumi. But right now, helping the wounded has to be my top priority.
Your Excellency, even if you had no duties at all right now, there's still no way we'd let you go down there. Enkanomiya is exceedingly dangerous right now. Only preeminent warriors like the Traveler and Paimon should venture there.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. This is a job only we can handle.
Yeah. We've worked together plenty of times in the past, after all.
Do you have any other information about Tsumi?
It was mentioned that she wears a strange mask that covers the upper half of her face.
How interesting. What is she trying to hide?
Your Excellency, in my humblest of opinions, Sumi has shown nothing but goodwill so far. Since the situation is so critical, we don't have the resources to make other defense arrangements and
I see what you mean. I have instructed Swordfish 1 to proceed to Enkanomiya and continue evacuating the wounded. Traveler, you can go with them. Swordfish 1 will escort you to the camp at the center of Enkanomiya. Also, please, take this with you.
What's this? Looks like a missing piece of something.
It's just a little trinket. When you are faced with a difficult choice, it might be able to help you.
Your Excellency. But it isn't...
Watatsumi Island doesn't need it anymore. Besides, both of the other two pieces are in Enkanomiya. If we're lucky enough, this could be our chance to reunite them.
Understood, Your Excellency. Okay. Emergency measures to hold the Three Realms Gateway offering now underway.
I apologize for the trouble. Now please excuse me. I need to tend to the wounded. Please, see Ueno once you're ready.
Spectre Eco-Management. Spectre Eco-Management.
Are you ready to venture into... All right. Here's hoping I have the chance. Next year, I'm gonna apply for Swordfish 1 to be redeployed into Spectre management. Because if it's that, or spend more time in Enkanomiya, I'll take my chance with the Spectres. Those armor monsters, closing in on you. It's the stuff nightmares are made of.
Totally understand.
Anyway, we should be safe for now. There shouldn't be any more danger from here on out.
Hey, what's up?
It's Yabe, the odd guy from Stingray 3.
You seem kinda chipper compared to all the others.
Do I? Well, I've pretty much always loved horror stories and ghost stories and stuff, ever since I was a kid. This trip to Enkanomiya is super fun. 10 out of 10 would come...
Totally do not understand.
Well, I mean, it's pretty sweet to have the chance to come to Enkanomiya. I actually kinda wanted to look into the Bunkoku.
Yeah, please don't do that. We're the ones that'll have to come rescue you.
Alright, well, never mind that. There's a makeshift camp at the top of those steps over there. Yeah, you should... Have you been to the camp yet? Tsumi's the one that set it up. Gotta get yourself familiar with the base.
Hey, look! A shrine maiden taking care of the wounded! That must be Sumi, right?
You are different from all the others. Are you human?
Well, she is, obviously. Just not a native of Watatsumi Island, that's all.
And you? A human hatchling? Oh, really? Because I thought that humans lose the ability to fly when they reach adulthood. Just like the baptismal bishops lose the ability to see in color when they reach maturity.
Sumi, you seem to know a lot about bishops.
Wait, how do you know my name?
Oh, the wounded soldiers mentioned you.
Oh,
Greetings. My name is Ueno, acting captain of Swordfish 1. We're here to evacuate the wounded and support the traveler's investigation. Swordfish 1 needs to rest and reorganize before commencing the evacuation. I'll see you later.
so you're here to help resolve this, hmm? Very well. It's taking all the energy I have to keep this light shining. I don't have the strength to try and calm.
Do you understand what's going on?
The Void Realm is invading. The people of Byakuyakoku believe that there are 3 realms. The Bishop Realm, the Human Realm, and the Void Realm. The darkness spreading in Enkonomiya comes from the Void Abyss. Neither bishops nor humans can endure it.
But don't baptismal bishops like the dark?
No. They hate the light. But only because down here in the depths, the presence of light signifies human activity. In fact, the Bishop Realm is the realm of pure, primordial, elemental beings. It's actually referred to as the Light Realm in most. The 7 sovereigns of the Light Realm are the 7 foremost elemental dragons at the pinnacle of the raw and
So that's why Suyuko called this the Three Realms
Three Realms Gateway offering. Not far off the mark, actually. But because the source of the darkness from the void is the 3 towers at the corners of
Oh, the 3 towers! The ones where...
You've been there before?
It's a long story.
Oh.
By the way, Sumi, what's up with the weird neck?
To hide my face. It has to do with some things that happened as I was growing up. Does that make me untrustworthy in your eyes?
No, not at all. You've been helping the wounded all this time. Everyone must be super grateful to you.
Can't say I really understand. Anyway, if you want to rid this darkness from Enkonomiya, you can come to me for guidance. Of course, I'm going inside to tend to the wounded and check in.
What are we gonna do? Paimon really wants... Oh, how...
Greetings.
Hello, we'd like to ask...
Because of her strange mask? Well, you've come to the right person.
Cool.
I was one of the first people that she rescued. Straight away, I thought there was something very weird going on. Who is this? So I started pestering her about it. I wasn't going to let her...
And?
There weren't so many people around at the time, so eventually she let me look behind the mask. It was actually pretty normal. Her eyes have snake-like pupils. Thin vertical lines.
Whoa.
I probably would have been if every Watatsumi Islander wasn't so familiar with our legends. Or I should say, the first familiars of the Watatsumi Omikami were the vassals of Watatsumi. Legend has it that they are a half-human, half-snake kind who helped our ancestors fight back the They were said to have disappeared long ago. But then Tsumi showed up, and as soon as I saw her snake eyes, I instinctively trusted her.
Huh.
I'm no expert by any means, but I think Tsumi...
Hello, what can I help you with?
Hi there. We wanted to ask you.
I see. What are you looking to know exactly? I've tried asking if she's seeing anyone, or whether she's looking right now.
That's not what we meant at all.
Suspicious, huh? Suspicion, the unknowable, the unpredictable, unexplored. I am being serious. Okay, look, if I had to pick one thing about her that's suspicious, I'd say, two things. Number one, her mask. Number two, some kind of pendant fell out of her sleeve when she was bandaging me up. It looked like it was a broken off piece of something. So maybe when you put them together, it makes a whole. Huh. Maybe the other half is held by Sumi's lifelong sweetheart.
Sounds like you hit the nail on the head, so...
I can feel a beard coming on. Oh, do you guys think shaving it?
As long as Sumi stays around.
It looks like they're resting. Paimon thinks we've got enough answers now. Let's find somewhere to recap what we know so far. Sumi's just inside the room. It'd be a bit awkward if she hears us talking about her behind her back.
So, how's it? Nothing wrong with that. Even if you're just...
So here's what we learned from the soul. Sumi's mask hides her snake eyes, which the people of Watatsumi Island believed. Based on her actions, it seems like all she wants to do is protect the people of Watatsumi Island. So she seems pretty trustworthy. Paimon gets it. Like, why is she covering her pupils when they're obviously an easy way to win everyone over? Guess we'll just have to see what she has to say for now.
Come on, man, please.
I don't know any other girls, okay? There's no one I could...
No, not that. There's no mirror here, so could you trim my beard for me?
I've met newly planted carrots with bush...
Phew!
So, how...
Yep! Let's team up to tackle...
Okay. It's called the Bokuso box. I found it in the Dainichi Mikoshi. Actually, the Dainichi Mikoshi was where I found the method and tools for the Sento ceremony.
Why wouldn't you be able to? Or did you mean it's
Nothing. I just meant the script in the Deep Sea Healing Arts Compendium. I don't actually know if it's ancient or modern. Never mind all that. Let's get back to business. The Bokuso box collects light. It can dispel the darkness from the void with it. So, for example, with the power of the Bokuso box, you can turn monsters affected by... As it happens, there are some monsters causing trouble around the camp. Please, go and fend off the mon... I'm going to observe the movement of the dark... You're a good fighter.
You bet! We were the ones who went and got...
You... So you...
What's wrong?
Nothing. If what you say is true, then I'm sure you'll be able to conquer the 3 border towers quite easily. Also, there are a few things I need to explain to you. According to what I have read, the fundamental purpose of the Watatsumi Goryo Matsuri is to use the serpent god's life force to awaken its second familiars. They are creatures that break down raw, primitive elemental energy into the milder elemental energy of the human realm. The giant coral is a symbol that the Sangha Coralia have been awakened. The mass awakening of the Sangha Coralia causes a transformation in the ecological...
Makes sense. Even if you took away the darkness and the monsters, Enkanomiya would still look pretty different now with all the new plants and aura around.
Things are even more complicated than usual this time. The darkness from the Void Realm seems to be... You may need to use the power of the Bokuso box to dispel the darkness and allow... Please, try to solve the problem. I'll wait for an update for you under the... It seems that you have mastered the Bokuso box. Now, as I said, we need to proceed to the 3 towers on Enkanomiya's borders. They're towers of the void.
Abyss adherent?
He's a purveyor of incessant nonsense. Somehow he found out about the 3 realms and the 3 corners, and brought those things in using abyssal technology. Then, he started disseminating abyssal energy using the towers. This caused great suffering for both the Sangakaralia and the... I don't know why he's doing this. For us, the Abyss is highly toxic. For them, intoxicating is more. Maybe he just likes to toy with people and stab them in the back.
Paimon knows exactly who you're talking...
You know him? Then it seems we have a...
Oh, you bet we...
To get rid of the darkness, you need to climb to the very top of the Towers of the Void and act... In Enkanomiya, the ley lines of the human realm, the elemental currents of the light realm, and the... Also, I only performed the Sento ceremony going off the steps in the book, but I believe the key to the ceremony is... You can offer crystals of light realm energy to it to increase the Bokuso box's power. Also, resting here... Please, take this hand-drawn map. I've marked out the locations of the 3 towers for you. You'll need... Well, that's as much help as I can offer you. I'll be waiting here for the good news.
The abyssal energy that was released when the towers connected doesn't seem to be disappearing. The darkness is infiltrating the land and causing changes in the surrounding area. We should go check it out if we have time. The same thing happened again. When the towers connected, the darkness started spreading. The surrounding area has changed again. Oh, we better go deal with it when we have a spare moment. Yep. Seems like there's no easy fix to get rid of the darkness. The surrounding area has changed again. But it'll be no big deal for us. Right? Should we go straight back and see Sumi, or sort out the changes around here first? Sumi, we did it!
I can tell. It looks like all 3 towers. The evacuation is now going much more quickly. But it seems like something happened that I...
There's darkness churning inside the Dainichi Mikoshi!
Logically speaking, all of Enkanomiya should be back to normal. Unfortunately, this place has now become the most dangerous. But what I can tell you is the location of the guy behind all of this.
How did this happen?
I've been observing the flow of the darkness, and there was a faint vortex continuously absorbing the darkness. He's extremely dangerous. Even most bishops would be no match for him. Music to my ears. If I have deduced correctly, he should be in the library area.
Oh, hey. I would say this is a nice surprise, but it's really not that surprising. You're the only person I can think of who could actually pull that off. Still.
You're just trying to stall for time?
I guess maybe you're not... Look, I understand that seeing me has gotten you a little agitated. So, let's burn off that excess energy with a little exercise, huh? From the act...
Solidify!
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
The flames of redemption!
Rest and rebuild!
Order guide you. Solidify!
Covenant of the Deep! Allow me!
Stop! My life is flashing before my eyes. That woman with the slender pupils.
Huh? How do you know about her?
Her name, what is it?
She calls herself Sumi.
That reptilian seems to be doing a... Makes sense, doesn't it? The Baptismal Bishops are a high... The Bishop people.
Bishop people? Huh.
Well, this one comes from an old Enkanomian legend. When the Baptismal Bishops were defeated, eventually, this gave rise to a line of bishops who were indistinguishable from humans, except for their pupils. Remind you of anyone?
We did hear that Sumi's pupils are vertical.
Yep. In good lighting, you can see that Reptile's pupils are thin, vertical lines.
But she's been helping us.
She is just using you to get revenge on me. I formed an alliance with the bishops. I said I'd plunge all of Enkanomiya into darkness. In return, they'd allow the Abyss Order safe passage through their... But they didn't know that the darkness of the Abyss...
So, they thought you had betrayed them?
I mean, I totally did betray them. To be fair, it'd be pretty humiliating for the Abyss Order if we unleashed the power of the Abyss on them and...
You are
Well, here's where we are now. Once she's done with you, she'll use the power of the Dainichi Mikoshi. They are probably diving down into the depths to rescue their imprisoned companions as we speak.
Poor Beth.
If you still want to save Watatsumi Island, you can use the mechanism I left behind to guide the light and...
We don't believe a single word that comes out of your mouth!
Oh, come on, God. This is just another fruitless trip to Enkanomiya for me at this point. Unlike those who are falling over themselves to serve our highness. Ooh, yikes. I think I'm all out of time here. I'd better go. I would say, see ya.
This looks like part of the same set as the one that Kokomi... Oh, Paimon's so angry! He got away again! Can't trust that guy. Even if he sounds like he's making sense. Oh no! Sumi's gone! We couldn't have missed her on the way here! Come on, it's okay. On the bright side, most of the soldiers even though just thinking about that guy drives Paimon nuts. It seems we've got no This must be the mechanism he mentioned. But how do we reach it?
Give me a moment to compose myself.
This is work! Since it has something to do with light, maybe the Bokuso box should be able to activate it. I'm shocked. It actually worked! For once, he didn't lie to us. Well, maybe with his sneaky way of explaining things, he doesn't have to. Why does Paimon feel like you two have reached some sort of mutual The Dainichi Mikoshi should be accessible again now. After a careful head count, it seems like the baby bishops aren't here anymore. If the Bathismal bishops really did come down here, that means that guy was telling the truth. So, Tsumi really is a bishop, but we still haven't seen her anywhere. Whatever. What is she doing?
Since you came back, I'm curious to know.
Some baby bishops were rescued before we got there, but the old and weak bishops went back in the water to hide after we defeated the elites. Tsumi, are you really—
I have no intention of explaining anything. Although I can communicate with you, I know the conflict between our two kinds will go on forever. Before I leave, I'm going to destroy this light. Do not come any closer, and don't even think about trying to— This tower seems to hear my wishes. I just need to think the thought, and it will— And if I so desire, it will collapse before me. With the cognitive equivalent of a click of the fingers, I could destroy this source of great pain for the bishop. So why can't I do it?
Oh no. This is way more serious than losing access to the Blood Branch Coral. What are we gonna do?
It's...
It's a pendant in the shape of...
This pendant has been with me for as long as I can remember. Why does... Don't be ridiculous. Are you trying to say that...
Paimon doesn't understand. This one is Kokumi's, this one is from the Dainichi Mikoshi, and Sumi's has been with her all along.
I grew up with the bishops. My only possessions were this pendant and a few boxes of books. I learned human language and writing from them, but not long after that, Enkonomiya was left without a single human being. Only recently did I finally have the chance to make contact with humans and learn what—
Sumi?
There's a saying in your human books that I never understood. People belong where they are born, but creatures belong where they are fed. I guess The Dainichi Mikoshi isn't my concern.
Sumi is gone. Why did she suddenly change her mind? Right! Kokomi will have definitely anticipated this possibility. That would be why she gave us the... Everything's resolved here. Let's go back and... Kokomi?
You're back. The soldiers briefed me about what happened. You successfully worked with a shrine maiden named Tsumi to clear the darkness. But then there was an unexpected change at the Dainichi Mikoshi.
Yeah, that's right. But after that is where...
Really?
Sorry, Kokomi. Paimon feels kind of bad that we ended up giving your pendant away.
There's no need to apologize. As I said, Watatsumi Island has no further need for it. It's a relic from back in the very beginning when the Watatsumi Omikami reorganized the court and reformed Enkanomiya. The 3 pendants were given to the Dainichi Mikoshi, the Sangonomiya line, and the vassals of Watatsumi. The original intention was that the common folk, the officials, and the divine vassals would all hold each other accountable. But today, only the common folk have flourished while the other 2 bloodlines have declined. So the pendant is of little use anymore.
Funny you should say vassals. One of the soldiers seemed to think that Sumi was one of those. But actually, her vertical pupils meant that she was a reptile.
That's not true. Vassals of Watatsumi typically take on a half-human, half-snake form, symbolizing that they are the familiars of our serpent god. At least, they used to. Over time, the vassals gradually became identical to humans, all except for the pupils of their eyes. But Bishop people and reptilians, they're pure fiction. There is no evidence for their existence anywhere among Sangonomiya's classified documents.
Oh, so Sumi isn't actually a bishop?
The Watatsumi Omikami exhausted its power to create Watatsumi Island, and after that, it grew weaker and weaker. No more vassals of Watatsumi were born after that. But the records do mention the very last of the vassals. All our hopes were placed onto her. She was going to be the one who could communicate between the bishops and the humans. But when she was just an infant girl, she and her guardian shrine maiden were attacked. Most believe she died that day, but some believe she was raised by the bishops. The people of Watatsumi owe a great debt of gratitude to the vassals of Watatsumi. Now that the bishops and Watatsumi Islanders no longer have a territorial dispute, I sincerely hope that she will find her...
What a story.
Still, now that we know how Blood Branch Coral works, I, as Divine Priestess of Sangonomiya, may need to think of a new way to counteract the Holy Soil phenomena. For the time being, however, the issue is resolved, and all thanks to you. I can't thank you enough.